Welcome to Click or Whiff, a Counter-Strike series where I look at some things that work right now in Counter-Strike, those being clicks and whiffs, things that don't quite work right now in Counter-Strike. Some bad things, some good things, and I've got two balls here in a cup. One is click, so I'm gonna draw two separate times. The other says whiff, and that's gonna judge whether we go over some positive or some negative things right now in Counter-Strike. Let's start off. We respect integrity here. This is an ESIC sanctioned draw, so I'm gonna do it with my eyes closed. Okay, what do we have first? We have a whiff, something that doesn't quite work right now in Counter-Strike, and I have just a thing here. It might raise some eyebrows because a lot of people thought that this is a cool thing, that this thing works, but for me, not entirely, and that's the bronze medal game in PGL's Cluj-Napoca and their upcoming tournaments. Sure, the Astralis phase game delivered Counter-Strike-wise. We got pretty lucky in the sense that we got a lot of emotion out of the both two teams. Both of the two teams seemed like they wanted to be there. And there's a lot to play for in those bronze medal games. Prize money-wise, it's either $60,000 or $80,000. I'm gonna correct myself here. And also VRS points are played for. So two big things that teams play for in the bronze medal game. But here comes the but. Here comes the whiff, so to speak. The bronze medal game is a best of 3. It is followed by a best of 5. Now, that's asking around 9 hours of a viewer's time on a Sunday. It's a lot, and I would say it's too much. Maybe in this first PGL tournament, people were up for it just to see how things look, how the bronze medal plays out. The game was good in itself, but also the game was long, it dragged on, and it pushed the final back by 90 minutes. Now, imagine a viewer who has circled the PGL Grand Final in his calendar. It starts at 5 p.m. European Central Time. All right, he's ready. He's got his hot dog. He's got his mayo. He's got his ketchup. He's got even mustard ready to put on that hot dog. But he doesn't get to feast on that hot dog because he wants to time it with the start time of the Grand Final. But it doesn't start at 5 because a bronze medal game is dragging on. And it ended up pushing back the final by 90 minutes. Now, that's not gonna happen every time, but there's a distinct possibility of that happening. But don't worry, guys. I have a solution for this. I have a way to make the bronze medal game click, and it is to make it a best of 1. A best of 1 bronze medal game for not all the marbles, but a lot of marbles. A decent amount of marbles. There will be the same prize pool difference. You will still play for Valve ranking system points, but it's gonna be really cutthroat. You're gonna play only one best of 1 to determine the third place team in PGL tournaments. This ensures that the grand final isn't pushed back. You've got a reasonable day as a viewer ahead of you, watching one best of 1 followed by the grand final, a best of 5, because I really don't think that it's reasonable to make the ask of people to care about these bronze medal games if it's going to be a dragged on 3-map affair between two teams that might be interesting, but you still have the main course ahead of you, so you wanna maybe pace yourself. Maybe you want to get something done before watching mega long best of 5 final. I also think that this is justified competitive-wise, because each previous game in the tournament is a best of 3, and that's fine, that's cool, I like that, I really like that. But each of the previous games is one where both of the teams could still make it to the grand final, and they could still be up for winning the whole tournament. And the only game where that's not possible anymore in any theoretical sense is the bronze medal game. That's just a third place decider match, and that's why I feel like it might not even deserve to be a long affair of 3 maps. I get it from PGL's perspective. They want a nice full day of games for them, but I just can't get rid of this idea in my head of a really cutthroat best of 1 to decide the third place decider, because that would make me watch it. Definitely 1 map for everything, and that's followed by the main course, the big final, best of 5. So let me know what you think about this, and let's move on to the next topic. Okay, our second topic of the day. I'm gonna close my eyes to make it super fair. And it is the click this time. Something that works in Counter-Strike right now. It could be anything. But for me, it's torzsi. Mouse's upper. I think he's a little bit underrated right now. He comes up clutch, as he did in Cluj-Napoca. Give him a 1v2 on the A side of Inferno, and I can almost bet money on him winning the 1v2 clutch. This Hungarian, close to a superstar opera, is really impressed me lately. I think he's good in the openings. As I said, he's also good in the closings of rounds. I think he can handle the pressure of big games better than pretty much any of the other mouse players. I think that's been true for the last year and a half, and it is still true while the other mouse players are getting better at those high pressure stage games. I think torzsi has always been good on those, and he might even be improving in those matches. I think this needs to be said out loud. torzsi is the 4th best opera right now, and it's not even particularly close. I mean, you got the big 3 stars ahead of him. ZywOo, m0NESY, and Shiro, probably in that order. But after that, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a 4th place name that is not torzsi. Could you go with Brokey? I guess he's pretty much on par with torzsi, but right now, based on the last 6 months of what I've seen, I think torzsi is more consistent, and they both can shine in those big pressure moments, but the overall consistency is better for torzsi, for me. Wonderful, he has the consistency, but he can't thrive in those high pressure moments when the score is 12-11 and Na'Vi needs that one more round against Spirit to close out the game. I just don't trust him as much as I do torzsi in those type of moments. Who else do you even have after that? After that, it gets really tough. Device maybe is close, but he hasn't been playing in those big playoff games enough for me. Mongols is 9-10. Eternal Fire's Woxic, who are both decent oppers, probably top 10 oppers, but I would take torzsi 10 times out of 10 against those 2 guys. And I think you're able to maybe think of some names, but I've looked at every single opera, and I just can't with good conscience put anyone ahead of torzsi in that 4th place of operas right now. Nero also did some great work, as he always does, in the analytics department, and here you can see some statistics that back up torzsi being, at least in the question of being in the 4th best opera spot right now, and for me, he's there. He's a click right now. Right, I hope you enjoyed this episode, this first episode, this pilot episode of Click or Whiff. We'll see if this becomes a monthly, weekly, hourly episode or what it's gonna end up being, but I'll for sure catch you in the next one. See ya, bye. Click or Whiff, watch it here on Robert Pinson.